life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer.
Mag-start sa ating program. Tawagin muna natin si Josie na mag-lead ng prayer. Please welcome Ma'am Raquel for a very short message.
Thank you so much, Tekla, and I'm so happy to be here today. This is my first time in Vietnam. I've been living in Hong Kong for so long, and I walked down, past downstairs, and I walked into the building. Oh, it's such a beautiful building. I'm so happy to be here and to see what happens here. This is such an important place, I think, in the community. I saw just next door there are caregivers, and we have migrant domestic workers, and so this is a place where people come together and understand and know each other and learn. So I'm so happy to be here.
And who is truly understanding. So now here is another one I couldn't show it here. The Family Health Service by Department of Health. They have the breast cancer assessment. So what you have to do is you pay 310 Hong Kong dollars, and then you can assess the risk factors and the risk of having breast cancer. So this is another channel. Okay, so how would you feel if you just diagnosed of cancer? As I mentioned, you feel very worried. You feel uncertain. You feel desperate. You feel despair. You feel like the sky is falling apart. Yes, that is true. But actually, this is not the end of the world, of course. Also, what why me? Sometimes you will think, what happened to me? Just as I said at the very beginning, what has actually happened to me? Especially for myself when I was discovered of breast cancer, I was less than 40. So by that time, I just started my work. First, I spent a lot of time studying. So I just started my work, and I was less than 40, and I was not married. I didn't have children. So what happened is inside my life, suddenly, and the thing is that I didn't even know what happened. What shall I do? That kind of thing. And if you have to find out what are you going to do, you have to spend a lot of time looking up for information. You have to find a lot of time consulting professionals. This is what I did when I was having cancer. But I proved that it is really correct. Talk to people, ask for professional help and opinion. So, what are the foreseeable challenges? What would be the challenges if you have cancer? Now, I'm not going to focus on myself, but to the audience, audience. I think that I have thought of if, based on my interviewees' response, if you have cancer, the first thing you worry about is job and money. Job and money.
Yes.
Am I going to quit my job? Where shall I go? Am I going back to Philippines? Or am I going to stay in Hong Kong? If I stay in Hong Kong, how shall I survive? That kind of question really bothering, and these are the very practical questions. I'll talk about that later. And other challenges is that, shall I keep it to myself or to tell others? I don't know what this tell or not tell is a really bothering question. Because if you tell people, it seems like everyone knows that you have cancer. Actually, this is women's cancer. And I believe that you might feel a little bit embarrassing if you tell others. But if you don't tell others, how can you explain to your friends? If your friends say, hey, let's have lunch together, hey, let's have a drink together. Then you feel very depressed. You didn't want to go. But how do you tell my friend? No, I won't go. Then your friend asks you, why not? Are you going to tell her? Are you going to tell them what happened to you? So this is a really practical and bothering question. Worry about your family members at home. Yes. Am I going to tell my husband? Am I going to tell my children? I tell you what, most of my interviewees did not tell the children. They would tell their husband and parents, but not children. Socially mislocated. People will go out and dance and have drinks, and then you stay at home. So you will ask yourself, what happened to myself? It seems like I'm being put in a prison without the end date. You don't know, you feel very confused. And I'm afraid of going to hospital and dealing with different medical staff. I believe that if you have the experience of going to the public hospital, you will find that it's very chaotic, it's very loud, very noisy, and you didn't know what to do. And even if you talk to the doctors, they might not understand you, or you might not understand what the doctor says. This is a very terrible experience, and sometimes if you ask more questions, the nurse will shout at you. But even if you are non-Chinese, even I myself, I speak Cantonese, the nurse will shout at me as well, because they are too busy, I would say, because they're really busy and they are very annoying, so they shout at you. This is a very horrifying experience. Anyway, so these are the challenges that you will have to face. So I have actually prepared some very common questions that pop up in your mind if you are diagnosed with cancer. For example, how long am I going to survive? Am I going to die? What has happened? And what is chemotherapy? What is it? Actually, what is it? You didn't even know what is it. I tell you what, for a lot of people, a lot of my friends or interviewees, even though they complete their chemotherapy, they didn't know what it is. Because it is too much, it's too technical, it's too much. But anyway, you will survive, despite the fact that it's too tough. And I'm still a woman. So remember, if you remove your breast, or if you remove your womb, then you will definitely have a question of, am I still a woman? Because at least you can't have baby. Especially for those if you age 30 something, you feel bad. Cannot have baby. Will my husband leave me? You will think about these practical questions. Yes, that's true. But I would say that don't worry too much. Really, no need to think about this. Think about how you are going to cope with the illness physically, more than how shall my husband think about it? How shall my parents and my brothers and sisters think about it? I tell you what, this is not an issue by the end of the day. It is yourself. You have to bother about yourself. You have to take care of yourself. This is the entire issue. And so, based on my research, another question 3. Based on my research, what are the major difficulties encountered by migrant worker cancer patients? What are the actual difficulties? I would say the first difficulty is health illiteracy. You didn't know what is cancer. You didn't know what happened. You didn't know what is it. And one is very confused following the medical guidelines. The pharmacy gave you a lot of pills, gave you some dose or whatever. You don't know what happened. And also, if you have the experience of going to the public hospital, you will find that it's very confused to find, for example, where is the pharmacy, where is the account office, where is the place that make appointments and so on. So you find that very, very confused, that kind of things. The lack of the understanding of the purpose and importance of cancer prevention. Now, another problem that you might have, it seems like I'm very negative, I keep talking about the problem. But in any case, after talking about the problem, I will tell you the solutions. Okay. So, another problem that you will face is the language barrier. As I mentioned, you go to the hospital and talk to the doctors, they didn't understand what you talked about, and you didn't understand what the doctor talks about. And at this point, it's really important to contact some translator, interpreter. This is really important. Now, another problem that you will face very practically is the consequence of telling my boss. What would be the consequence? What would the result if I tell my boss?
Yes, that's the problem.
That is a very tough issue. Some of the bosses are very generous, but whereas some of the bosses are very tough. So
yes,
what are you going to do if you're, but in the first place, when are you going to tell your boss? In the second place, if I tell my boss, how shall I react? How shall I respond to her reaction? Anyway, this is really desperate to a lot of people. The thing is that if you keep working and you receive salary, and you feel very tough, you can't stand physically and emotionally. Because imagine if you have chemotherapy and you feel very tiring, you fall and you feel very sick. But if you keep working, it is really impossible. But I tell you what, some of my interviewees really did. They did it very slowly, and the employer understand what happens to them. And after half a year, everything is back to normal. So they can stand the very difficult situation. This is the very desirable situation, and they will keep working with the same employer. But not everyone is so lucky when the boss will understand you. And if I don't work, I don't have to return to my homeland. The thing is, if you return to your home, you have to pay a huge amount of medication. And it seems like it's almost impossible. Honestly, it's impossible. So you have to think about how to stay in Hong Kong. That is where focus and so on is there. I think this is really important, but it really borders a lot of people. Even if you stay in Hong Kong and you contact other organizations, where are you going to stay? Now, this is a problem. Are you going to stay with my employer, even though if I don't receive the salary? If the employer allows you to do so, that would be fine. I think that would be also be fine. But you feel very bad about yourself, and then some of them even not quit the job. If you quit the job, you have to go back home. But some of them, some of the employer will say, you better leave my house. I won't terminate the contract, but you leave my house, and then you just survive on your own. At that point, some of my interviewees will stay in the shelter for medication. This is quite often as well. So what shall I do? Where shall I go? This is a big challenge. Very confused and helpless. Will I be able to see my family again? What shall I do? Where shall I leave Hong Kong? When shall I leave Hong Kong? These are the questions you will think about. So these are the problems and challenges. So what I'm going to do is to talk about how are you going to solve the challenges. Okay. I think the basic principle for coping with cancer, I think it's not only you or Chinese or non-Chinese, but for everyone. It is, there are some basic principles, which is don't panic and be calm. Of course, that seems like very nonsense, but that is true. I tell you what, even if you are in a very difficult situation, but if you will keep calm, if you don't panic, you will be better in any case. A lot of people make things worse because they are panicked. I better not to do that. I better not to. They are too panicked. And when the situation is not that bad, because of their panic, the situation goes worse. So don't get panicked and be calm. And another thing is that don't feel shame and don't victimize yourself. It's nothing shame. It's just chronic illness. It's not shameful. Not shameful. Not shameful at all. You have to face it. And
2023 at Bayanihan Candy Town Center.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.